exchange rate unification by federal government as a vibrant West African fuel black market collapses on Nigeria's subsidy removal. I'll be hanging out with Dari Udufookon and Emeka Madunago. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. The price we pay for liberty and by extension security starts and ends with vigilance. To ensure security of lives and property of citizens, Ondo State government has approved a joint patrol of military and paramilitary forces in Imoru community, Ose local government area. The state government, through the State Security Network Agency, popularly called Amotekun, also deployed 2,000 officers across the 18 local government area of the state to ensure safe Eid Kabir celebration and sustained peace. The strike force and the patrol teams are expected to commence a 24-hour border patrol during the Eid holidays towards keeping criminals at bay. Imoru community is in Ose local government, and this is my mother's hometown. And for like 3-4 years now, they've been under siege. Arimogija, Imoru, Sobe, Ijagba, Okeduse, this area in Ose local government, virtually under siege. People are not able to go to their farms, and they've taken over, terrorists have taken over their farmlands. Yeah.
Well, and deploying 2,000 officers of the Amotekun Corps as Eid Kabir comes is one good way of giving the people at least some respite. And you come to think of it, this is coming as one of the fruits of community policing. Because if we don't have the Amotekun Corps, if you pull out 2,000 policemen from what you have in the whole of Ondo State to send to a particular sector of the state, you feel the impact. That's why we are insisting. Police, as currently constituted, cannot, I mean the Nigerian police force, as currently constituted, cannot police the entire country. So what you have in each state may not be enough. Let's have organizations like this, agencies like this, coming to assist. And then, eventually, when we get used to what good comes out of community policing, we begin to give state police serious thought. People are not safe just yet. And that's why I'm very, very happy with the steps taken by the new president. He's giving security serious attention, starting with tinkering with our security architecture, the people in charge. We are not actually saying those who have been there didn't do their best. We're only saying, why don't we try some new tricks? It will just give us the result we want. So it is a testimony of what we've been talking about in the area of community policing. If it will take Amotekun working hand in hand with the police, with other security agencies, to read this area. Look at the way you painted the picture. Because you are familiar with it. You know what the people are saying. They can't go to their farms. Now it is festive. You can see look at destruction.
The wreck havoc and
look at destructions. So we cannot allow things like this.
Now, if they want to go to their farmland, if today is your own turn, the whole community will gather.
Stay with you.
Go to wait with you.
So, and you know the implication of that on food.
The other farms suffer.
So other farms suffer for that day. So it is. If we now have this kind of security arrangements, and it's going to give us what we want, then why not? Let's encourage more of it across the states. And at the end of the day, even criminals will come to know that we are taking the issue of security serious. And then they will be forced to look for other legitimate means of livelihood. I think it's a welcome development, and we should encourage more of this.
So, Emeka, okay, that's the live feed of the arrival of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria back to Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, after a working visit to Spain and a private visit to the United Kingdom. And at about this time, President Bola Tinubu has just touched down back to the VIP session of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Bola Tinubu has just landed.
London.
My people will say the eagle has landed.
The city boy. The city boy.
Yes, the city boy has landed. All right. So I'm sure our correspondent Demola Lawrence is standing by to give us updates about the arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I wanted to say Muhammadu Buhari. I'm getting used to this by after 8 years. So it is now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the arrival. Okay, that's the arrival of the president from the United Kingdom from a short private visit. The president was earlier in France to meet other world leaders, and after the meeting, he proceeded to the United Kingdom on a short visit. He's arriving well ahead of the Salah celebration. The federal government of Nigeria had declared a public holiday for Wednesday and Thursday. So we have service chiefs on ground. We have police on ground, service chief on ground, members of diplomatic corps, and some of his other members of the advance team on ground to receive the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
This jeep will move forward a bit. I don't block and play. This jeep, just a little bit forward. We're on. They can't move. So they can't move. They have to stay side to side.
President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That marks the arrival of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the United Kingdom. This is the VIP wing of the Murtala Mohammed International, presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. And the President is right on time for the Salah celebration, ahead of Salah celebration, which the federal government has declared the public holiday for Wednesday and Thursday this week. And it's also spectacular that this will be his first visit to his own state as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And he's going to be moving straight to his new residence in Ikoyi. And that is where it's going to be like a presidential resort or so. And we have military guards and other dignitaries to receive the president. Larry, it's as if the president is going to be 1 month on Thursday of being the president of the after the swearing in Abuja to June 29. So far,
I think we should say so far so good. I would say so far so good.
But Nigerians are
so far so
Nigerians are waiting
we have
for
a man,
those things that will ameliorate the president's sufferings that they are going through.
Because, as the president explained, to usher us into future prosperity.
The level of poverty in the land right now is almost unprecedented.
Yeah, but you would agree that this is something he inherited. This is something he's working hard, according to his policies, to change. And he already prepared us to the fact that we will have to make sacrifices. But, of course, Nigeria
started with the first subsidy removal.
And, of course, we are still saying palliatives will come. It should come. Then we should move one step after the other.
The floating of the naira now.
I mean, so these are things that are expected to make life better for us in the future. So the feeling of pain now should hopefully give way to some form of betterness as soon as possible.
Emeka, expectations seems to be so high now. Nigerians, they've left that election mode and people are facing the reality on ground. And the reality on ground is that Bola Tinubu is the president for now, and they expect so much from him.
Yeah, of course. You know, the last 8 years were a period of extreme economic turbulence, and of course 2 recessions back to back with COVID-19. But these things, unfortunately, were not well managed by the last administration. If you look at the Article 4 consultation report prepared by the International Monetary Fund and released in February, I think February 6th this year, said the gains from high oil prices in the period were not well managed by the last administration. And so that led to a lot of distortions in the economy. But it's expected that if some things can be tweaked and better managed, then a lot of the things that Nigerians have had to suffer.
Okay.
To ease off.
That's the president inspecting the guards of honor. I think there's going to be a guard of honor mounted.
This is the situation here, live situation here in the
And as the commander-in-chief, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ahead of the Eid celebration. And this is significant because he's going to be inspecting the Guard of Honor as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. And if you remember, Olusegun Obasanjo, anytime there's a holiday like that, it used to be Otta. He used to stop by, go to his Otta farm. And President Muhammadu Buhari, it was always Daura in Katsina State. For Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has relocated from number 26 Bodilon now to somewhere in Ikoyi, where he's going to be spending his holiday. So at any point in time that there's a public holiday like this, the president is going to be in Lagos.
It's nostalgic. If you realize, also, that it will be the first time a Lagosian president. It's the first time the city is receiving one of its own as Mr. President. This is going to go down in history after the election, and it's very neat. This is his very first visit. You can see the euphoria and see the expectations. Bola Ahmed Tinubu returning to Lagos as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is something a lot of people are very happy about. This ceremony today will go into history. A lot of people in years to come will be recounting what happened today on their own perspective and their own opinion.
Harry, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
President
visiting his home state for the first time after May 29 inauguration. And this like a kind of, after any public holiday, this is going to be his home.
Yeah. And then Lagos will be feeling the impact of a visiting president coming home to rest. And I'm sure it's a good thing, well deserved by the man and his supporters. The electioneering is over. The campaign is over.
Yeah.
He's coming to his people as Mr. President. And I'm sure he's very, very much aware of the expectations. The mood in Lagos, the reception he will get, the people who visit him during this holiday period, and the events he would witness will all come together to show him that Nigerians and Lagosians are actually waiting on him. That's the word. we're all waiting on him. There are so many things needing attention. A lot of things required urgent action. And if you go by the actions in terms of policy that he has taken so far, I would want to agree that he knows what is to be done and he's going about doing it.
Quickly.
Yeah, well,
Expectations.
Welcome back to Nigeria. Welcome back to Lagos State. And fact of the matter is that people are really suffering. The removal of subsidy and the tumult in the foreign exchange market. It's really affecting a lot of things, and people are expecting that that decisive action will be taken to ameliorate the parlous state of the economy and to make Nigerians begin to have a sense of belonging in their country.
All right. We'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll continue with journalists Hangouts. We'll be right back after this timeout. Please don't go away.
Heading home from work, in the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar street lights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
Thank you for staying with us. A fresh breath of air is blowing through Benue State, and the workers are feeling it. The workers were in jubilant mood after receiving 1 month's salary from the state government, the first in 7 months. Some of the workers said they are happy to get paid after working without salary for the past 7 months. This is despicable. Can you be working and you work for 7 months? How do they expect people to survive?
There was a government.
How did you cope in?
Well, thank God that now they are getting paid 1 month after working for 7 months. It shows
Backlog of 6 months.
Shows what workers in some states had to grapple with in past years.
I think that's why the workers. I think that's why people of that state actually rejected.
You see,
the
with the things put in place by INEC, governors and other elected office holders should know now that it's either you perform or you get kicked out.
Yes.
Autumn paid the price.
Yes,
of
they
this.
wanted to go to
not
the Senate
only
under the Labour Party.
Not only was not PDP, not Labour Party. Not only was he unable to install
his
successor or to make his party win the governorship, he also lost. And he didn't just lose, he lost woefully. A Senate seat. Somebody who won twice governorship, comprising all the 3 senatorial districts, could not win. Out of the local governments, he barely won half of the local governments in his senatorial district. It's to show you that people can now speak with their voter's card. And the new governor is the person I want to talk to now. It is good. He's receiving all these applause. There is jubilation. He has paid only 1 month. Too. I recall that when autumn came, that was how he bamboozled the people, paying salary and even arrears with the first 2-3 months.
Initial gragra.
Initial gragra. After 6 months, the people started complaining. So Father Aliyah should learn how to manage this applause. He should keep the tempo up so that when it is time for the people to take stock of what he has done too. They will not give him the autumn treatment. The autumn treatment is now very popular. And the people with their voters card can reject a non-performing leader. It's simple.
In this kind of environment, in this kind of economy, how do you expect people to live for 7 months?
Yes, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I think looking at it, further beyond just not paying them, I think Benue is one of the few states where successive governors, have not managed recruitment into the civil service. Yeah. So I think they've,
that's the kind of overbloated civil service.
It's more like a civil service state. So and they've not,
in the federation.
Yeah, so they've not really managed other sources. They've not really been able to create jobs in other sectors of the state in such a way that they would have had a vibrant private sector. So much depends on the state government. And then again, I think the issue, insecurity was one thing that dogged Otom throughout his 8 years. But I think part of it was that he also played a lot of politics that didn't turn out well for him. He was constantly battling with his godfather, who is now the secretary to the government of the federation, Akume. So all those things did not allow him to really concentrate. And then for people to work for 7 months without getting paid, I don't even know if they are paying the current minimum wage, the 30,000 naira minimum wage in the first place. Because I know some states are still paying 7,500, which is a long time in the past. So I think the state government should do the current governor should have his eyes on developing the resources of the state so that it can benefit the people, and then ensuring that more revenue comes into government, into the coffers of government. Because it just depending on the monthly federation, money that comes from the federation account, it's not enough. The needs are so many these days. So I think the kudos to the governor for paying 1 month, but he should do more than that. I think also the cost of governance. I am an advocate for reducing the cost of governance. A lot of money goes into things that are avoidable. So the governor should also do something like that. It's better to pay the civil servants, pay them their salaries, than for you to have a huge security vote and have other things attached to you, which you can do away with.
All right. After every political battle, it is expected that gladiators will reach some reconciliation. The Pan-Yoruba Sociocultural Group, Afenifere, has condemned a statement credited to the Ogun State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, APC, considered as insults on the former governor of the state, Gbenga Daniel. Afenifere insists that though Daniel had a misunderstanding with the incumbent governor, Dapo Abiodun, in APC in the state, should try to reconcile the two chieftains rather than causing more division. Dari, you want to give us an insight into...
Yeah, I want to give you an insight, and I want to start by saying that Afenifere's call for peace instead of war is a good one. But I disagree with the approach of the Pan-Yoruba organization on this, because there are two issues. First was former Governor Gbenga Daniel's interview. That was what the party responded to. I would have expected Afenifere, in its release, which I've read, to condemn both actions, because the former governor going to the press with allegations directed at the sitting governor, who is his friend, in the manner he did, is not a way to seek peace. Of course, reading the response of the party's response may be toxic in some way, but it is the party merely took the issues Daniel raised one by one and responded to it in like manner. We should, at this point, begin to tell both parties, Daniel and the party, to seek the way of peace.
What is the bone of contention?
The bone of contention is simple. There were disagreements during the election. Onlookers will say it started when Daniel complained that the governor does not want him to start campaigning. After he won, he got the senatorial ticket. which he would ordinarily not have gotten if the governor was against him. He had people contending with him. You know Senator Lekan Mustafa. You know his weight in Ogun East.
But
there was no
OGD2 is equally formidable.
Formidable, but for the
former governor,
intervention of the governor, asking those contenders to step down. There was also the argument that the governor is from his senatorial, he's part of the senatorial district. He's Remo. The governor is Remo. The Ijebu people felt that you are depriving us. The two of you cannot take these 2 seats that is available to the whole senatorial district. But the governor had to play the arbitrator. Look, he's our former governor. He worked for the party. He's more or less one of our leaders. Let's use this to, sort of respect him.
So, are you saying it's not about this 2027?
No, it's not 27. It's not 2027. Let me give you this insight. If you listen to the interview of Senator Gbenga Daniel, he was trying to pitch the governor against some forces by saying it was because he worked for somebody, that's why the governor. That's not true. Because Senator Gbenga Daniel was not a delegate to that presidential primary. He had no delegates on his side going to the primary. We must put the record straight. It's my state. I want peace in that state. But the only way to ensure peace is for the truth to be told. He didn't go, he could not have voted somebody while the governor was doing something else. Whatever happens during the primary, immediately after it, everybody came together. The issue started when he said he wanted to start campaigning. And the governor said, there are protocols. Wait, let the governor start his own, then we'll do. But he went ahead.
Okay.
I think the party didn't like that.
Some people are saying that as at the time before the primary election, that Abiodun actually supported the former vice president, Yemi Osinbajo, and Gbenga Daniel went all out to support Bola Tinubu. And the friction has been there from that time. And some people are even talking about these 27 tickets that the governor might want to finish after finishing his race as the governor. He might want that senatorial ticket that will be denying Daniel the second time as a senator in that senatorial district.
Well, all those, that's just, those are mere speculations, because 2027 is a long way away. And just like we were talking about Benue State a few minutes ago, the governor had expectations that, yes, he would get the senator, he would win, he would go to the Senate as of right. But at the end of the day, the people didn't speak in that direction. So I think the governor has just been re-elected. He has a lot on his plate. He has a lot, before him.
Very close
so
election.
Definitely, he should concentrate. And then the party should also try to be cautious about engaging, creating enemies, creating enmity for the governor. Because, yes, Senator Gbenga Daniel may, he has his misgivings, he has things against the governor, but the party also should remember that it should always be in the middle. It should play, the middle course, so that the state is not plunged into a personality crisis. Ogun State has been witnessing the influx of investors, been doing well in terms of development and all of that, but there, people expect more development to come to other parts of the state. The other parts of the state that are expecting the touch of the governor. So I think all hands must be on deck. They should work together. Whatever may have happened in the past, this person supported this person supported this person. Those things are gone. We've gone past the 2023 election. This is a new season. This is a new dawn. So I think the party should also caution. The party leadership should also, try to control its utterances. It should not be saying that you are fighting a key member of your party. You're being pitched against a key member of your party, at the behest of the governor. It will not help matters.
So, Barry.
Emeka painted the picture of a party that took side. I don't think it is so. It is the party's responsibility. That is the ruling party. The governor being talked about is the governor elected on the platform of that party. Whatever perception the people get about him will affect the party. So what the party did, in my opinion, was to come out and put the record straight. Go and read the release. And that's why I'm not too happy with Afenifere. Because if Afenifere had started by saying, they ought not to have said this, but next time, party, try and mediate. The party only came out and said, look, what he said and not the truth. Talking about somebody working for some, because we are on national television, we must be cautious. Go to Ogun State and ask. It is not on record that Senator Gbenga Daniel worked for the presidential aspiration of President Bola Ahmed to now more than the governor. The Ogun State, when Ogun was supporting the VP, the entire Ogun State was supporting the VP. The entire, as in the party, and it is not, there were people who openly came, people like Senator Yayi took their position very clearly. We could see that. We are reporters. So it's not for Daniel or his aides to tell me, as somebody who covered the whole election, that I supported Tinubu. No, I should be able to say, from what we saw, you covered the election. We knew those who came all out to say, we are here, while others are here. And immediately, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as the party's candidate. The structure in Ogun State was collapsed behind him. Okay. And the governor went all out to ensure that the state, like other Southwest states, were behind his aspiration. We also saw how the election went after the presidential election. The governor had to struggle because there were issues we should be talking about. Not somebody saying they are fighting me, because there are underlining factors that the senator should meet the governor and resolve. And nobody should say this is about 2027. It's still far off. It's actually about 2023. More about 2023 than any other issue.
All right. And finally, the economic reforms initiated by the federal government is getting more support globally. The World Bank has expressed support for the decision to remove fuel subsidy and unify the country's exchange rates. The country director of the bank, Sobam Chajuri, emphasized that although the policy will be painful, it is essential for rebuilding the economy. Meanwhile, the black market for vendors and commercial drivers in West African countries like Cameroon, Benin Republic, and Togo, who relied on smuggled petrol from Nigeria, have witnessed slump in their businesses since the subsidy removal. Emeka?
Yeah, of course.
The World Bank now coming to give us.
Yes, what the World Bank said was actually just reiterating what the International Monetary Fund had said in its Article 4 consultation report released on February 6, 2023 about Nigeria. Definitely, it said the subsidies will go by the middle of 2023, and it was spot on that. And then it was also talking about the foreign exchange, ensuring that the obstacles in the way, the multiple windows and all of that were closed and taken care of, with, so that the economy we're heading in the direction of a truly unified forex system. Yes, but I think the World Bank didn't say much about the, developing the local economy. For instance, the absence of refineries. Local refining. I thought the World Bank would have addressed that. Because when you say, okay, yes, these reforms will bring about fiscal gains, yes, but you just go beyond palliatives. We should not just be talking about palliatives. I think the IMF used the word incentives, more like helping the private sector, helping the ordinary Nigerians, to be more productive and to be able to get more benefits from policies of government. So I think beyond just looking for palliatives or fiscal gains, you should talk about how the economy can work better in the interest of the ordinary Nigerian.
Larry, now let's talk about the effects of that removal of subsidy. The effect is biting harder. Transportation, cost of living, everything. But to our West African neighbors, they've been having it very rough. And that's directly proving the fact that people have been saying that majority of what the federal government has been subsidizing, they've been subsidizing, neighborhood countries.
Yeah, well, a recent visit to Cotonou, Benin Republic, actually proved to me that the argument that if we remove subsidy to actually show us where the fuel we are talking about has been going, it's now obvious. to Kutonu, you see the hardship there. Because those guys hawking fuel on disappeared. They are forced to go to their filling station to buy at the normal rate. And that rate is to them, they will tell you, is killing. And there are more protests about the removal of subsidy in Nigeria in those neighboring countries than we have in Nigeria. Because majority of the money paid on subsidy here are paid on fuel that has been smuggled out of the country. And that's why I would plead with Nigerians to be more patient and to bear this very, very tough situation. Ayo, we cannot take that away from the fact. It's tough. Transportation, production, even to feed, because fuel price affects every other thing. So, but if we are seeing the outcome or impact of this policy, the way those who evolved it has told us to pan out, it simply means that we should believe them when they say sooner or later we will smile. But government must work at providing palliatives. The issue of fuel subsidy removal is gone. It has been removed. How Nigeria will receive it is past tense. It has been received. But let us now look at the sufferings. Let us look at the people. How can we make life easier for the people while they grapple with the removal of fuel subsidy is what we should begin to talk about. Because soon there will be school fees to pay. School owners are waiting because of fuel subsidy removal. Already there is the issue of school buses. School buses.
Beginning of the time, they've not increased this thing.
No, they couldn't increase now, but
really increase.
Immediately in a matter of months, 3 weeks, 1 month, we will all face school fees. And they will increase because they will tell you the impact of fuel subsidy removal and other things like that.
Even you soon have a harvesting season.
Oh, and the crops will be sold
moving crops, yes, moving food, moving produce
from farm,
moving crops from farms
to the market, to the urban area,
will be more expensive. So even diesel, if you think diesel is cheaper, no way, it's almost about the same.
But diesel is coming down
on the same level. Yes, but with the introduction of 7.5% VAT, that's another thing.
But yes, let's just be hopeful that aside from pushing the policy through, which has been done, pushing the palliatives through too will not be forgotten.
No, but beyond, I think we should go beyond just palliatives because we've been having palliatives. Remember,
let's ask for palliative first. If we be, I know there are a lot
can be done that the kind of palliatives that will cut across, not just government workers.
No. Now, if you read that IMF report, it talked about using the agricultural sector to boost to the non-oil sector, because if you see agriculture as actually
shop, we not go feed do agriculture.
But it's from the farms.
Okay.
But let me just quickly address that issue of these neighboring countries. Yeah. You see, Nigeria for years has been playing the role of big brother, and I had said it some years back that we must decide whether we want charity to begin at home or abroad. We don't have regular electricity supply here, but in these neighboring countries, they have regular electricity supply. We are talking of smuggling of fuel products. Why? Because we felt big brother, let us help our neighbors, let's help our smaller neighbors and all that. But you see, it gets to a point where even big brother, he needs his clothes begin to tear here and there, and then he must cover his body. So we must also look at this foreign policy in the light of emerging economic realities. We cannot just continue playing big brother. You take money, you throw here, you take money, you throw here, while Nigerians are suffering. Right now, charity must really begin at home, and we must be serious about it. Nigerians must be the centerpiece of our domestic and foreign policy, the interests of Nigerians. Wherever Nigerians are all over the world, whether at home or abroad, that should be the centerpiece of our domestic and foreign policy. We've done Big Brother for so many years. Let's try to modify it.
Final take on this?
Yeah, my final take, I'm going to agree perfectly with Mecca on our relationship with neighboring countries and how those relationships affect us. Let's look inward. Nigerians too deserve to enjoy the fruits of the things that God has given us. And I think the new administration is very clear on that. That look, let's spend Nigerian money on Nigerians first. Then we can begin to look at how we can be good neighbors. And the removal of fuel subsidy, if you take a good look at it, given the uproar, outcry from Cameroon, from Benin Republic, from Niger, you will understand that we have done more harm to ourselves as a country than good by continuing with that subsidy regime for as long as we did. So let us bear the sacrifices, hoping that government will fulfill its own part of the bargain, which is ameliorate these sufferings as soon as possible.
Thank you, Emeka Madunagu and Dari Odufalcon. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program by 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone. Your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees, and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine, hip, and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira. And get relief from back and hip issues. But wait! If you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. Incredible! That's 2 Contour Legacy pillows and 2 Cool Gel head pillows for just 69,900 naira. And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll also deliver your Contour Better Sleep collection with no shipping charge. But hurry! This is an exclusive ShopX TV offer and only available for a limited period. So, call now while stock lasts. Your rest is your wealth.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, where the black gold continues to flow and fuel Africa's largest economy, where the line between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Oil, gas, politics, development, and community issues all are highly valuable commodities in the Niger Delta. How do they combine and how can they work together to spawn a new era in the Niger Delta? As he probes deep to analyze issues in the region from angles never before explored, inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Join me, Precious Amayo, as I bring you news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first with breaking news.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello everyone, it's now 29 days of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency and we are monitoring closely developments in his first 100 days in office. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Join the conversation now on Twitter using the hashtag first100days and remember to tag at TVC News NG. President Bola Tinubu has arrived Nigeria after 1 week working visit to France for the Paris Global Financial Summit of 2023 and a private visit he had to London. President Tinubu left Nigeria on the 20th of June. And this is the first visit of the president to his home state, Lagos, after the presidential inauguration on May 29. We understand he's in Lagos to celebrate Salah. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu was among the early callers at the presidential wing. Some political appointees, party members and supporters, including the Lagos State Governor, were on ground to welcome President Bola Tinubu. Well, President Tinubu there in the company of the Lagos State Governor as well as other officials as they touched down the Air Force One earlier today, just moments ago, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Our correspondent Demola Lawrence has been monitoring that development since morning. He joins me live from the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos. Demola, the president's arrival looks like, a festival of some sort. Walk us through what happened today at the airport and how the president was received.
Yeah, the president was actually received in a very interesting way. While we got here as at past 1, we already met the supporters of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the presidential wing of the airport. And of course, the security was top-notch. The supporters were actually allowed to stay at the entrance of the gate. Nobody could come in. You can only come in if you are a pressman accredited to be at this particular event. Of course, the security apparatus were totally totally on ground to make sure things are properly put in place. And of course, one of the things that happened is that some political appointees that were actually appointed by the president were also here to receive him. The National Security Advisor, Nuru Ribadu, the Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, and of course the Governor of the state, of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, along with his deputy governors and the Governor's Advisory Council in Lagos State, were all here to receive the president. This is his first homecoming after he was inaugurated on May 29, 2003, and so it's like a festival of sort, like you said, and the people were actually happy to see him. They call him the city boy, so he's back to his city to see his people.
Well, talking about the people, your shots earlier showed a crowd of supporters who came to cheer the president. What did they say about the president's return and their expectations from him?
You know, while I was coming inside, while I met some of them at the gates, you know, they were so happy. You know, for majority of them who have not seen him since he came for the presidential campaign when the campaign was still going on in Lagos, which of course was the mother of all campaigns for the APC as at the last time. So it was a time for most of them to see him at this particular event, and so they were happy. And the expectation is, of course, knowing fully well that the president said at his inauguration that he was going to hit the ground running, and some of them, of course, were expecting that he was going to do that. So while speaking to them, they said they were still expecting the president, of course, to do more, and looking at all the things that they have put in place and all the policies and all the acts that he has been able to sign while he has assumed office. So the expectations, of course, is very high. And while also speaking to one of them, he said the president cannot afford, you know, to fail the Nigerian people because of the promises he has made to them. So they are very, very optimistic that the president will do well. And it's still 4 years for that to come to fruition. But one of the things that one can actually take away from this place is the fact that the people were actually happy to see the president come in for his official for the first visit to Lagos.
Indeed, after his inauguration, we understand the president is back in Lagos for the Salah break. Where is he headed, you know, from the airport, Demola?
You know, one funny thing that happened, I think most of us didn't see that coming. The president, after he inspected the guard of honor, was going to, of course, you know, say hello to his supporters. He came down, and we thought he was just going to enter the convoy and just, you know, move. But after inspecting the guard of honor, he went straight to his supporters at the gate and waved to them, you know, for just like some seconds, and everybody was happy. Of course, after then, he moved straight into the convoy, going back home to have the Salah celebration, which is, of course, coming up tomorrow and Thursday. So for now, the president has come to Lagos to celebrate the Salah with, of course, his people. The city boy come to the city to celebrate Salah with the city people. So that's what we know for now concerning his visit to Lagos.
Well, the excitement from your clips is palpable, particularly seeing the people dancing and cheering. Hopefully that the president can sustain his appeal to the people in the coming days, particularly when you consider the implementation of some of his policies in his early days in office. Many people are now asking, where is the intervention, federal government intervention, particularly following the removal of fuel subsidy? But just before I let you go, Demola, how soon do we expect to begin to see some of his engagements, particularly where he left things before he went to Paris? Many people are saying perhaps it's now time to have him release the list of his ministers as well as other appointments.
You know, the funniest thing is that while the president was even in Paris, he was still working. While he traveled to the UK, he was still working. Remember that so many things were actually done while he was in Paris. So the president, from what we know, has never stopped working while he was in the official visit. And one of the things that the people are also looking at is the fact that how effective those policies and the acts that he has signed into law is going to come into play. Like you said, the succor that is supposed to be provided for the removal of fuel subsidy, many Nigerians are actually looking forward to that. And looking at some of the interventions that the president has said is going to happen, you know, most especially in terms of transportation. Remember when he met with some of the stakeholders after the removal of the fuel subsidy, one of the things that they was really hammered on was that they were going to provide, you know, transportation, like a succor for transportation for the masses. So what Nigerians are actually looking forward is just almost, you know, in 2 days, it's going to be a month that this president was actually sworn in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there's a lot that Nigerians are looking forward to in the next 100 days of this administration, and with what he has done in the last 3 weeks, or the last 29 days, to put it properly, of his administration.
Trust me, Demola, Nigerians are counting on the campaign promises, and we just do not know how long more this honeymoon for Mr. President will last. Demola Lawrence live for us at the presidential wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. After the break, I'll be talking to a policy analyst and special assistant to the Speaker, House of Reps and New Media, Olabamiji Jowosimi, who will be also talking about Mr. President's first 100 days in office. Stay with us.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear.
President Tinubu is back from the UK, where he went for a private visit. Before then, he was in Paris, where he attended the Financial Pact Summit. The focus of that summit was to restore space to countries that face difficult short-term financial challenges, foster development in low-income countries, encourage investment in green infrastructure for energy transition, and also taking a holistic look of recovery of economies from impact of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as exploring rising cases of poverty and providing access to finance. For more on the president's first 100 days in office, I'm joined by development policy analyst and now special assistant to Speaker, House of Reps and New Media, Olabamiji Jowosimi. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me, Nifemi. I'm glad to be here.
Well, first, congratulations on your new appointment. We're looking forward to your engagement in the coming days. But one of the things that have been trending online is, where is the president? He's back in Lagos now after his first official visit out of the country. And that received quite some buzz, with the many promises of foreign direct investments and, you know, what have you. What do you make of his engagements, particularly with investors and the diaspora community in France?
Yeah, for me, I think quite elaborately that contrary to what some Nigerians expect, there are some who have thought that the economic summit it's a debaters club, or it's a forum for public speaking contestation. No, economic summit is where leaders of countries seal deals. It's where deals are being brokered, and where leaders network and negotiate, you know, investment for their countries. And in that vein, I understand the feelings of people who thought, oh, the president should be right in front there, speaking and giving all the buzzwords and the, you know, and the sweet, heavy words. They have to understand that first of all, the president is the youngest in the line of assumption of office on that line. So apparently, he cannot jump the line over and above those that have been in office before him in their respective countries. But in terms of sealing deals, the president, as the chief marketer of the country, I think on the sideline did elaborately well. And some of even his heavy critics have, you know, agreed and have aligned to that thought. They're saying, look, He met with the president of the Export and Import Bank, President Benedict Oraimo, where they sealed investment, and the man gave his assuring words. He gave his unambiguous pact, saying, look, we are going to invest more in Nigeria because Nigeria leads, Africa would also follow. And if Nigeria can take its rightful place at the forefront, then the rest of the continent can be guaranteed of success in huge magnitude. He also met with the president of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. And I think the president made a very reassuring words there in unequivocal terms, saying, look, you cannot ignore Nigeria. You ignore Nigeria at your peril. What he did there is to make a very bold statement, saying, look, Nigeria is not a country on the slave bank begging for pity. We are the largest market in Africa, and you should be eager to invest and do business with a country such as ours. So he has been crossing all the T's, dotting all the, and making sure that in the eyes of the international committee or in the eyes of the global community, Nigeria is sold in the appropriate manner. I think he did that quite well. And most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, the president met with the Nigerian community in France. There are many of them who may have lived in the country, in France, that is, for long, may not have been in their home country for so long. They may not have had the opportunity to come home, vote, and participate in the electoral process. They have the opportunity to engage with the president directly and ask the relevant questions. And the soundbite we got from that meeting, we saw that the president ticked all the boxes, and accurately so. Where he said, look, our diversity should be an asset. We are children of the same father, living in the same house even, only that maybe we are actually occupying different rooms. And that is instructive. That is the mark of a leader, I must say.
Well, it's all looking good in this early days, particularly some of the promises it keeps making and the body language that is being read, via many of the engagements he's had. I just want us to touch quickly on the mild drama with the tweets from the Director General of the World Trade Organization. Remember that he had tweeted a picture where tweets did say that she cropped out the image of the president. That was blown out of proportion, right?
I agree so. But we have to agree that somehow many of us have not transited from summer to winter. Many of us are still in that election mood. Many of us are still almost like we are still campaigning for our individual candidates. The elections are over. A winner had emerged. We have a president, a GCFR on seat. So supporters across all divides must understand, and elaborately so, that it's time for governance. The people that reacted saying, look, why did the much respected DG of WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, crop out the picture? I think they have to now begin to see themselves more as citizens, no longer exactly as supporters of candidates or of political parties. We are all citizens. Nigeria is the only one asset we have. I must guard it jealously, regardless of political affiliation and alignment. So I think the DG did very well afterwards, saying, look, she cannot disrespect the president of our country. After all, the country gave her the slot she occupied. Without the support of the country, the then President Muhammadu Buhari, perhaps the very brilliant Okonjo-Iweala wouldn't be sitting on that seat. So she knows she's one of our best assets globally. So she knows she's not a kid, and she knows that, look, I cannot ignore my president. Only that these big men and women do not really handle their social media themselves. So sometimes these errors come from the handlers. It could be overzealousness. It could be personal issues with the handlers. However, we blew it out of proportion.
Well, I think she eventually gave the explanation about posting the pictures as they came in. But let's turn our attention back to Mr. President's decisions, in his first few days in office, which seem to have enjoyed some goodwill from a cross-section of Nigerians. But how long more does he have to enjoy what seems an understanding? Someone calls it his honeymoon season as president. How long more does he have? Because right now, the price of fuel, you know what it is. We understand that electricity bill is just about going up as well. How long more does this president, have to bring real solutions to these problems before Nigerians begin to react?
Yeah, first of all, I welcome back the president, our father, leader, mentor, back to the country on a safe trip abroad. However, I would say he is not exactly in honeymoon period. I think on the contrary, he has proven that he does not need an honeymoon. What leaders do mostly is that in the first few days of their assumption of office, they try to do the popular things. They try to take the popular actions where people will love them and say, okay, you're welcome back. What the man has done is to take the difficult route instead. Like in a relay, even though during the campaign, Ashwaju kept saying it is not a fiscal contest. I think he has proven that it's a relay. The moment he received the baton from Muhammadu Buhari, the man picked race almost immediately. And Reuters quite described that more eloquently than I've just done. By saying, look, I understand that we are not short of policies in this country, but the problem our leaders have is sometimes when they make these policies and the consequences are not exactly attractive, then they renege and reverse those policies. He said quite elaborately on that day, saying, look, subsidy is gone. Just in case you are thinking that when I get to office, we will have meetings and discuss how it can be extended, knowing fully well that 24 hours is not just a long time in politics, it's actually eternity, even in life generally. In those 24 hours, many things can happen and things can change. Then the man begins to think, all right, it's been cornered. Let's give it time. No, we have to remove this 7 trillion loophole and block it and see how the people can breathe, how the poor can actually survive. This subsidy, as beautiful as it has sounded for decades, does not in its awesomeness benefit the poor. Only few, macroscopic few of the country benefit.
Talking about the subsidy removal, Olabamiji, the conversation out there would be that it's 29 days after that pronouncement was made, and we're yet to hear from the National Economic Council as to what their decision is on the federal government's intervention. Is that something that disturbs you?
Well, not really. I think you can see the meetings they've been having with the labor union. I think there are discussions around increasing the minimum wage, the percentage increase yet to be agreed. And of course, I expect that with the arrival of the president, he will begin to form his cabinet, that is ministers now. Without this full cabinet, sometimes governance can be a little bit shaky. Now we have a National Assembly, which is ready to act. We have an executive that can now send the names across. So when we have a full cabinet, and upon discussions and negotiations, some of these things can't just be done by pronouncement saying, okay, because we pronounce subsidy gone, that has actually been prepared for by Buhari, then let's also begin to pronounce the mitigating and ameliorating instruments. No, we have to meet, the cabinet have to draft these papers and say, okay, now, transportation. Does it not surprise you that the oil marketers that we have all demonized and saying they are the catalyst of our problems are saying now we are even ready to partner and see how the suffering of the people can be mitigated by donating buses and making sure that they do not really feel the pangs of the effect of the subsidy removal. So I think with this cabinet formed, the governance will be more...
And that definitely is expected to come in earlier than the previous government that took 6 months. We understand there's a law now that gives him only a 2-month window to make that happen. But you've seen a little bit of his appointments from special advisors to the chief of staff, as well as other critical roles that he's appointed. What are your expectations for his ministerial council, particularly the appointment of younger people to fill that position?
Yeah, I think, like I always say, the best way to predict a man or to predict the future actions of a man is to examine his past. So from assuages and antecedents, you can expect women, you can expect young men and women generally in his cabinet. I think he had given it some proportion, 40% here, 20% there. So we expect young people, and we have seen it even in the appointment of special advisors. So the way those special advisors were configured, I expect their spirit to be transmuted into the ministerial announcement. That is, we have people in their 40s, maybe people in their 30s, early 50s, and we have to also have some that are more experienced to also galvanize and energize that team. We may have the return of some of the super ministers of Buhari's government. I don't want to mention names, but I must mention one of my most admired politicians and administrators, Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola. I expect him to be back in the fold. I expect an Erufai back in the fold. So I respect an Erufai in the fold, being a former FCT minister, being a two-time governor of one of the most complicated states in Nigeria. Such experience, wealth of experience is expected. And we see in the essay, we see a balance of politicians and technocrats. That would also most likely replay itself with the ministerial list,
all right.
I'm sure.
We have to go now. Perhaps we allow you settle down into your new role before, asking you about your new principal, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, who had an overwhelming support to emerge as Speaker. We are looking forward to seeing him match, that support with action. Thank you so much for your contribution. Olabamiji Joe Simi is the popular, legendary Joe on Twitter. He has a very poetic way of expressing his political opinion. Thank you for talking to us on the first 100 days. Well, that's our program today. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and also at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. I'll be back at the top of the hour with more.
Stubborn dark marks? Try new Nivea Lumina 630. Visibly reduces up to 10 years of stubborn dark marks in just 4 weeks. New Nivea Lumina 630. Get even and luminous skin.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you worried about the safety and security of your home at night? Do you wish to know when intruders come close to your home? Or do you want to protect what matters to your family from anywhere at any time? What if there was a convenient, affordable way to keep surveillance in your home without having to worry about wires, installations, or heavy light bills? Introducing the incredible Sidebulb HD Cam, the robotic 360-degree two-way torque camera with action tracking technology. Sidebulb is the ultimate solution for discreet and powerful surveillance. It's so easy to install, and the app lets you rotate and view the video from your Sidebulb in real time from any smartphone. You can drop in from anywhere and check in with our two-way talk technology. Talk and listen at the same time.
Hello, Mommy.
Hey, sweetie. I'll be home soon, okay?
Sidebulb's advanced tracking technology locks onto motion and tracks in real time. Set the siren alarm to go up when motion is detected and keep intruders away. Check in on your home while you're away. Make sure the kids got home safely. Interact with visitors at your doorway or surprise a trespasser.
Surveillance in a light bulb. I was amazed at the 360-degree rotation. It gives me a full view of my house and I can check in on my kids. The footage is clear and the night vision is so impressive. The best part, I can add multiple sidebulbs for a complete home surveillance.
I really like my Sidebulb. It's so easy to use. I just downloaded the app, I put it on my phone, and I add it up and run in about 3 minutes.
Traditional surveillance systems are bulky, expensive, and difficult to install. But with Sidebulb HD Cam's innovative design, installation is as fast as changing a light bulb, and it's made for indoor and outdoor surveillance.
The Sidebulb HD Cam is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 200,000 naira for an indoor and outdoor security system that doesn't fully secure your home. But call the number on your screen now and get the Sidebulb HD Cam for just 45,000 naira and get peace of mind. And that's not all. If you call now, we'll give you an extra sight bulb at no extra cost. That means you buy one and get one free for 45,000 naira. But wait, there's more. If you order now, you get the Sight Bulb HD Cam delivered to you for free wherever you are in Nigeria. So, call the number on your screen now or visit our website to place your order while stock lasts. The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Her now seemingly weak body has not diminished Dr. Winifred Awoshika's love and enthusiasm for the bold mind and spelling game of Scrabble. Helped on both sides, Dr. Awoshika gingerly moved to the drums to welcome the trophy named in her honor by the Pan-African Scrabble Association, PANASA, ahead of the President Cup and the African Youth Championship, holding in Lagos in August. After a tour of some other African countries, the trophy made a stop in Abuja and Lagos, and at the doorstep of the octogenarian. With undiminished faculty, despite a ripe old age of 83 years, the renowned educationist and founder of Chrisland Schools narrates how her love for Scrabble began with a chance meeting with a young man simply known as Kelechi.
I was going around one afternoon in the school, and under the shed, I saw him and some students. I asked what they were doing, and he said, we are waiting to start our Scrabble lesson. So he now told me something about Scrabble, and that he used to come here every Wednesday, because Wednesday afternoon is we call it co-curricular activities, and that's when we have sports and all sorts of games and competition and so on. So I said, I would like to organize this game between private schools and public schools.
I met Dr. Awoshika in 2010. We had just started out with the Scrabble in Schools program. We started